Hello everyone, and thank you for stopping by. So this is a powder room, and we're using 12 by 24 inch porcelain tile. These are glazed, mind you, so there's all kinds of variation. As you see, my toilet's going to be there, and there's going to be a cabinet there. And as you can see, I always like to start with a full on that side and cuts towards the cabinet and toilet. That register is not going to be in there. I just put that in there just to make sure that when they put a new one, it'll fit in there. It's just a guide. So this is going to be my layout. And I'm going to show you how I start with the full on that wall. So we're going with a 3/4 inch hardwood and a 1/2 inch titanium. So the 2x4, usually what we do is we hit on the inside of the 2x4. And that being is because when you close the door, your casing and everything is on, you're going to split the difference between the hardwood and the tile. Just like that. If you put 30M Ditra and your 1/2 inch titanium tile edge or whatever color you use, you'll always have an even match with your hardwood. So these are the arrows on the back of the tile. And the reason why I do that is I do my first course arrow one way, second course the other. That way I don't hit anything, the same tile. And usually I leave a 1/4 inch away from that wall to get started. So make sure you put your tile edge against that, the square and the tile edge, and just mark your tile and mark your square. Grab your chalk line, and we're going to see if this room is squared, and then we're going to chalk a line. Reason why I'm doing this is I want to see how square this room is. So from that wall to the chalk line, take a measurement there, and take a measurement to the other end, and see how close we are. This is my dummy line, by the way. It's not my tile line. And do the opposite on the other wall. Now grab your tape measure from your tile that you marked, transfer from that dummy line to the other line. I believe it was 12 inches, by the way. Grab your chalk line, strike another line. Put your tile on there, butt up against the tile edge, and mark it horizontal. You're going to get your square on your true tile line and just mark that. I'm just going to get my chalk line again, and I'm going to strike another horizontal line. So that is not the line we're going to follow. That's my dummy line. That's my tile line that I'm going to use, and my horizontal tile line that I'm going to use as well. So you got your vertical and horizontal. So I'm going to put my tile on there, and I'm going to mark my cut for the vent. So I got my 4 points. Grab your square and use your 4 points, and then just mark your tile. My marker died, so I'm just going to have to use my pencil for that. So it's probably best to use a marker. So a little bit hard to see. Can you see that outline there? And we're going to cut that out, all right? So I'm just going to use my grinder on this. And if you got something like a pail, it's always good to use a pail to break the shock when you're grinding. And do the same thing on both sides of this. Remind you to let your grinder do all the work, all right? Don't put any pressure. Just make sure just the grinder will do the work for you. You don't want it to skip or anything. So just turn the tile around and just notch just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't overstep your lines on the other side. Just like that, guys. And just clean it up just a little bit. Okay. Remember to wear glasses, all right, guys? All right, let's test that out and see what we got. Perfect. I always use a half-notch trowel for my big format tiles or smaller version. Mosaics, I use a different trowel. And that's my 1/16 spacers. If you have clip wedges, by all means use that. I'm using white Schluter cement. So as you can see, I back butter and as well with the half notch. Mind you, crisscross, all right? On your floor one way with a notch, and on your tile, crisscross that cement, okay? Well, put your level on it and see how close you are with the bubble. And do the same thing horizontal. So vertical and horizontal with your level. And just keep continuing on, all right? Now, I made a mistake here. I was supposed to go the other way with the notch on the floor, but I didn't show you, but I pulled it out and I redid that again. Just put your level on that, and if you get your first course straight, vertical and horizontal, it's easy peasy from there. And I just want to make sure that I'm fine. So this is going to be a cut. So you see I'm reversing that arrow opposite of that first course. I'm just going to use my little cutter here and break this. Just like that arrow right there. That's the cut going to the wall, and that's my good rectified edge that's going against the tile. Use your palms. Just kind of use the shake and bake against the tile until you hit it properly. And use your level as well. Your first course is always important. If you get that lined up, you're rocking. So you're going to switch the arrow to the other side. So the second course, the arrow is going towards that wall. You see what I'm talking about? There's only so many different tiles. These are the same. So if you make a boo-boo, you can, the arrow will help you out. It won't be noticeable. And we're just going to time lapse this and go through this. Remember, guys, it's all about patience and using your levels, okay? So what I do is I'm doing something else after this. So I just go a little bit closer to that wall, and I'll come back the next day and I'll finish it off. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. See how your floor is nice and level? Sometimes you'll get some humps in the floor, some pockets that you have to put a little bit more cement. And you see how that's leveled as well? And you see how flush my metal and hardwood is with that tile? Just like that, okay? Perfect. And this is my next day. I'm just going to finish this off. It almost works to be full towards that wall. I believe I might have taken about an inch or inch and a half off of that side there. So that's the electrician I'm talking to. He's a great guy. He apologized. He says, sorry I didn't have any lights up. I says, it's all right. No problem, Jonathan. It's all good, man. Thank you, guys. I hope you come back and have a good day.